Hello everybody, my name is Swicey, welcome to my channel. Today we're on Kanglish's account and we're going to be taking over his Hydra. Now, he was doing decent when it came to Nightmare and Brutal, but it wasn't the absolute best teams he could have and he was looking for an upgrade. So I've gone ahead and set out a Nightmare team and we'll work on thinking of a Brutal team later. But to begin, I just want to go ahead and get this Nightmare team going. So in this Nightmare team, we have Cardiel, Grazur, Mishinaki, Krisk, Ultimate Gaelic, and Taras. And hopefully, despite there is no like dedicated reviver, I mean, yes, Cardiel works, but there isn't like a Duchess or something, and there also isn't a Torment counter. And these are all things that could end up being problems, but if we look here, a lot of the time there isn't much of a Torment counter. It's really just blow it up and move on, which is kind of what I'm hoping for here. So that's the idea behind the team. We're just pushing for as much damage as possible. There's a lot of survivability in it. There's a lot of buffs. There's a lot of protection. Just a lot of things to keep it moving. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead, get this built, and then we're going to go ahead and show you guys the teams, well, the team, all the builds, and then I'm going to show you guys how I would run this team for maximum amounts of damage. We're shooting for over 200 million damage. We'll just have to see how it turns out. I'll see y'all as soon as these teams are built. Alright guys, so the team is built and I'm very happy with all the builds. And let's go ahead and show you guys them. So first off is going to be Cardiel. There's so many champions in this account, it's kind of hard to find him. So Cardiel is in 6-piece protection, 1-piece stone skin. He's at 71.8k HP, 4.5k defense, 328 speed. He is fully booked and has 1-star cruelty. Is going down into War Master with lasting gifts. The last one doesn't really matter all that much. I mean, maybe Spirit Haste, but it isn't there and it doesn't matter too terribly much. Next up is going to be, I want to show Krisk next. Let's go ahead and find him. There he is. So Krisk is in Hex and, well, Cursed and Perception set. He also has a Blood Shield Amulet. He is at almost 50k HP, 49.3k. He is at 4.1k defense, 249 speed, 518 resistance. Now, if we do go to Hydra battles, it is now up. And then he is also at 325 accuracy. He is fully booked, has 1-star Brimstone, is going down into Unshakable with Master Hexer and Lasting Gifts. Next on the team is going to be Taras. So Taras is in Lethal Stone Skin, 1-piece Stone Skin, 1-piece Protection. He's at a lower 85k, well, 84.5k HP, 3.2k defense, 226 speed, 100% crit rate, and 275 crit damage. He is fully booked, doesn't have a blessing right now, sadly, but is going down into Helm Smasher, and he has a Retribution Mastery. Now, I feel like there's some stuff that here, let's go ahead and switch up his masteries a little bit here. I didn't mess with them because they seemed okay, but now that I'm looking at it, I think it would be better if we switched it up a little bit. Now, thinking of PvP as well, we do have to do that. I do really like this mastery on a Taras. We don't need this, so we can go really any way we want. I do believe Cycle of Violence is very, very, very strong on him, Kill Streak, and then Helm Smasher. I do also think that going down this route and grabbing Shadow Heal is pretty good for him, and then just going down into Retribution. From there, we also want to be picking up Ruthless Ambush is a no-brainer. There's also Life Drinker for PvE. I think we go the more PvP route, and we also want to go ahead and grab the Blood Shield because it is very strong on him. And then, yeah, Wrath of the Slain. Alright, next up is going to be our Supreme Gaelic. Sorry guys, I've been calling him Ultimate Gaelic this whole time. It's Supreme Gaelic. He is in Perception and Relentless. He is at 56k HP, 2.7k defense, 287 speed, and 355 accuracy. He is fully booked and is going down into War Master with Master Hexer. Uh, from that build, we then have who are we missing? Oh yeah, Mishinaki. Mishinaki is in crit damage, savage, and one piece merciless. He also has a reaction piece. Not that it matters, but it's there. He's at 44.4k HP, 4k defense, 235 speed, 100% crit rate, 268 crit damage, and almost 300 accuracy. He is fully booked, has 2-star Soul Reap. Now the Soul Reap makes sense here simply because when the heads get lower down, he's then going to be able to proc the Soul Reap. Also, there's some other cruelty on the team, so we don't need him in cruelty. He's going down into War Master, Master Hexer, and Sniper. And I believe that's the team. I'm for sure forgetting somebody, so let's go ahead and double check. I've shown that. Oh yeah, Grizzer. There we go. Grizzer's build is very solid. He's in one piece protection and relentless. He is at 42k, well, 42.5k HP, 4k defense, 239 speed, 100% crit rate, 244 crit damage, and 308 accuracy. He is fully booked with 1-star cruelty and is going down into War Master with lasting gifts to make sure that he's getting keeping out his stuff as long as possible. We also have, is it 2 or 3 buff extensions? Oh, we have like 3 buff extensions in the team, so we shouldn't really ever be losing our buffs, which is really nice. But now that everybody's been shown, let's go ahead and hop into the run. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the full run. Obviously, that's like hours of time. Well, maybe not hours, but at least an hour of time. So we're just going to start up by the basic start. You want to get the hexes out, preferably. You want to get all your debuffs out there. Get the provoke out. And then we're going to start off with our first nuke. We also, since we have majority hexes out there, we're just going to go ahead and drop this down so we can get that decrease defense. And then we want to extend the duration of our stuff here. We can also place this and try to start extending that as well. The more stuff we can extend, the better it is. We just want to keep stuff up as long as possible. Now, the really crappy thing is that some people are going to have more than Krisk for a little bit. We really need to get that up so that nobody's outdoing Krisk here with the buffs. So he's tanking as long and as much as possible. Now, our first massive hit from Taras, well, actually, I guess the AoE's a bit more since it isn't with... isn't too much, and we're not with Marichka, so we're not really doing the constant counterattacks. Now, Marichka is definitely one that you could bring into this team. I just think that what I have here is going to be better for damage. Not using a big support like her, more using the built-in supports of, well, Cardio's an amazing support, but then we also have our Krisk and our Grizer's passive. Grizer's passive does so much work here. Get this back out. Any extra turns is amazing. These two champions in the extra turn relentless they're absolutely amazing for it, and some of the best champions to have it in. Your DPS or your debuffers for Hydra is who you really want it on. We're focusing on just getting out the different debuffs, doing damage along the way. Now, I understand this is not a realistic team for anybody. This is not a team I could do. This is not a team that 99% of people could do. It's just kind of the idea of what we're doing, what we're trying to avoid. We want to make sure that we can get rid of this because that is very, very annoying. It's also kind of nice to show a really in-game Hydra team and kind of let people know, hey, this is what it could look like eventually. Again, I personally don't have a lot of these champs, so I can't do it, but there is some people who do, and some people who do that don't quite understand Hydra too well, and things like this can really help. Now, okay, our Krisk he's dead, but we do have the revive on death, which is absolutely massive. Let's go ahead and try to get him back up and going, because a dead Krisk is very, very bad. We want to get our increased defense back out. We want to get anything we can. We also want to be attacking this head over here, because, well, I mean, the downed heads is where we are really going to get a lot of our damage. Um, we're not worried about anything yet, so we're just going to wait on our Revive on Death, especially since it just saved Krisk, so the more we can keep it up, well, the more times we can have it when we absolutely need it, the better. Let's go ahead and drop the increased resistance, increased defense to get everybody back to a very healthy state. Now, Krisk was the only one that dropped there. Nobody else was even at a risk of dropping, especially because of his passive, because of how strong he is. Um, uh, well, not his passive. I was talking more of Taras's passive, Reserve's passive. Everybody else was fine. Krisk's ally protect is the reason that he died. But as you can see here, we're not a million per turn, but we're doing some really solid damage. Let's go ahead and keep attacking that head. Alright, ally attack into it. We'll be able to kill out some other things while we do it. A lot of damage coming out of this. We were one turn off on Taras, that sucks. Increase our buff duration, get some more damage out there. Yeah, like I said, the more you can farm these down heads, the better. You can get majority of your damage just waiting for a downed head, which is really nice. Almost a millions across the board there. Taras is just so incredibly strong. Now, this is the biggest head that will destroy a comp like this. So as we need to just be farming up the the revive on deaths, keeping everybody alive, because Wrath will one-shot our Krisk. There is no question about that. He will just straight up one-shot Krisk, no problem at all. We are attempting to get back to our provoke for this. We got an extra turn, which is nice. We can then decrease our buff duration. Our revive on death is about to drop off. So let's go ahead and try to get him back. That sucks. Having Krisk a bit tankier would really be ideal. The reason that we don't have him tankier is because we needed the set on him. The curse set really helps. Just the run's consistency, making sure nothing goes wrong. Okay, there we go. Specifically something going wrong if Mishinaki were to get eaten, and then we're dealing with trying to hit the single target, well, the buff stealing head of, not Torment, not Mischief, there we go, sorry. Just trying to keep a team as consistent as possible, no matter the rotation. Now, I'm sure as soon as a head of Torment comes out, we're gonna have some problems, but we need to try to keep those to a minimum. So now we'll put this out. Try to make sure that this big hit right here doesn't affect our Krisk. Killing out heads without even trying. We're going to proc it now or as soon as possible so we can make sure that Krisk isn't going to die, because there is no increased attack, and that's the biggest thing. If it has an increased attack, it will one-shot people in your team, no problem. Alright, so seems to be like we might end up being one turn off. Never mind, we're fine. So yeah, guys, I mean, you get the idea. We're just farming out as much damage on downed heads. We're going after as safe as possible throughout the entire fight. We don't want any risks of this dropping down at all. We want to get somewhere at least turn one, like 1200-ish. And as soon as this run is over, guys, I'll go ahead and show you what damage we got. We're shooting for, like I said at the beginning, something around 200 million as a minimum. Anything below that isn't what I want, and I'll have to make some changes, but we'll just have to see how it turns out. I'll see y'all as soon as this fight is over. We might have to restart or something, and I'll be sure to let y'all know if that happens. Be right back. Alright, so the team did 243.84 million. Now, it just got to the 1,000 turn area, and the only reason it failed was because Krisk got eaten, and then he also and then the poison cloud, and then the shield got popped on top. So some really, really, really bad RNG to end out the fight. But I asked Kanglish, I made sure it was okay that I kept this run and didn't rerun it. You will notice that the team is a little bit different. Grazer is in the front, and I had to change the resistance chest off of Krisk and put on a defense one because he died like way too often. After a couple runs, I was like, okay, this needs to change, and I did this, and it worked just great. Now, as I mentioned, we just got into the 1,000 turn area as this ended, so another 500 turns, possibly getting another 100 million. So maybe this team caps out at around 350 to 400 some million damage in Nightmare, which is absolutely phenomenal and something I'm very happy with. I'm sure he'll be happy with it. Now, this team isn't going to out damage his normal, I don't think, but that's because Double Trunda is broken, and this is the best type of team you're really going to get for Nightmare. So let's go ahead and keep that result. It'll take a minute. And then we have the real fun part of that. Well, one, we have to go and make sure that I change out this and put Grazer in the front. So Grazer and then Cardio. And then we have the really, really fun thing of trying to make the next team, which actually isn't all that fun. I'm just being sarcastic. Alright. So somebody we do have, and somebody we are 1,000,000% gonna be using is, well, Marichka, and there's a new. So Marichka and new are gonna come in here, absolutely no questions about it. Marichka is gonna make it to where we don't need a mischief tank or anything, so we can really just worry more about getting damage out and not worrying about mischief. From there, there's also there's also a really big case that we could be like, oh no, wait, Lydia's being used. Crap. Okay. So with Lydia being used there, we can't use a team I was thinking about. It's one that Nubkex has done before. I'm gonna check if there is a rabbit. There probably isn't if I'm not seeing him down there, but maybe he just has a big soul on him. No, okay. So no rabbit makes this a lot less fun. Okay. There is a Venus Cupidus, and that can pull out a lot of damage. I think we might do that. But then we also have the Marichka, so it's like we might end up overpiling the amount of supports that we need if I keep adding more. Because we're gonna need somebody to help with the Head of Torment in this team, because we can't have another team where there's no real Head of Torment counter. Possibly we just bring in Duchess, and then we use a team that I've used before on my own account that has done good amounts of damage. Not like the absolute most god tier amounts of damage, but very good and respectable numbers. I think we will use the second one because I would rather not change up the build too much on the one with the higher soul. So we're going to change up this Duchess. We're also going to grab the Cupidus. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he has +2 Cupidus. Awesome. Okay. And then we are left to trying to pull together a Provoker. We definitely need a Provoker, maybe some more damage. Maybe, yeah, I think we bring in Harima because Harima can really, really do some amazing damage in this. But then we need either a Leech, and probably a Necmo is really what I'd be looking for. I don't know if there's a Necmo on the account. He is a Spirit Champion. There is no Necmo there. If there's a Necmo, he's going to be up above, and I missed him. Okay, so no Necmo. The next thing we're going to be looking for is a Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is a champion that came out somewhat recently. It was in a guaranteed event. She's an owl, Force Affinity. Maybe, okay, let's just do it by rarity, and then that'll help me find if there's any champions that are just not being shown up here that maybe need leveled or booked or something that I could take up. Yeah, Gwendolyn's right here. Okay. I don't, oh, there's two Windlands, dang. I don't know if there is any books on the account. If there is, that's definitely something that I would be looking at doing, because we really do need some like speed or and leech stuff. I believe she brings both. I could be wrong on that. Let me um let me go ahead and double check her kit, guys. She has, yeah, leech, decrease speed, decrease accuracy. And then we also have our, oh no, we don't have Reach Gun here anymore. Okay. So then do we want to bring in Marichka instead of Duchess? Because the issue with not having Marichka here is that we have no mischief counter. We don't have a block buffs champion. Um, okay. So I guess, man, this is tough. I don't want to take out Harima because she's going to bring us the provokes and a lot of damage. We're getting buff strips and HP burns and things off of Venus, as long as we can get her in some decent relentless gear. We're getting massive amounts of protection and everything off of Duchess, a lot more damage off of Newt here. Um, I mean, there's an argument that we bring in like Mithrala and throw her in. Oh wait, yeah, we could throw her in. We also have, I mean, Marichka. If we threw Marichka in at the end, it's now very safe. But again, um, no block buffs, which could make this very, very frustrating to try to make happen. Hmm. Okay. We could even try and take out one of the DPS here. Maybe the Newt. We drop the Newt and we put in somebody else. We could also consider doing something like this, where we take out Newt and then we put in Richka somewhere in the team. So, okay, let me outline this. We're gonna put a yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put in the Cupidus lead, and then we're gonna put in Harima, and then we're gonna put in Venus. I forget where she is. I know she's void, so she's, unless there's like +1 of her, which I don't remember seeing. Um, okay, maybe I'm just blind. All right, there's Venus. Next up would be yeah, we need the block buffs champion, which I'm looking at Pinthroy possibly, and then there's probably, yeah, there's a Gerp Tuck, so we could up our damage even further, which wouldn't be bad. Um, we could also throw him in a provoke set or something to try to help make sure the provokes are up at all times. Okay, but anyways, at the end we're going to put in our Shamel wherever he is. There's Shamel. And then here we're gonna put in Marichka. And then at the end, like I said, we need a block buffs champion. We're already using the best one on the account here in the Nightmare team. So Wukong and Pinthroy, Ugo, obviously. Ugo is another one that I could put in here because that's an extra reviver, which wouldn't be bad. We could throw him in a hex set and then put her into a relentless set, and I think I like that idea. Okay, we're gonna do that, guys. So this is going to be the brutal team, and I'm gonna go ahead get this team built, and then we're gonna go back through the same thing that we did before. Be right back. The team is built, everyone, and I'm pretty excited to see how this turns out because all the builds are very solid and I'm very happy with them. So let's go ahead and show you the builds, and then I'll show you how I plan on running the team, and we'll go from there. So first, of course, is Cupidus. Cupidus is in 2-piece stone skin, 4-piece savage, obviously. I try to go for a decent amount of survivability stats, so 64k HP, 6k attack, 2.4k defense, 157 speed, 100% crit rate, and 280 crit damage, along with 250 resistance, which isn't bad. We weren't shooting for much speed because Venus is there and he's going to be counterattacking all the time anyways. And then he is fully booked, has 2-star cruelty, And then is going down into War Master and just has some uh, interesting masteries, I guess, because we're really just grabbing the turn meter there, trying to get some less damage taken, just some more defensive stuff because we're running Marichka and everybody's resistance will eventually get to the point where nobody can stop us. Speaking of Marichka, let's go ahead and show her build. She is right here. So Marichka is just in a arena build. I didn't really touch it. I moved around one piece because when I was building Taras, she had the best chest plate, so I had to move some stuff around, but she's at 98.9k HP, 3.4k defense, 281 speed, 2 counterattack accessories, fully booked, and is going down into War Master, which we need to change. I didn't check her masteries, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't even notice that, to be completely transparent here. So let's go ahead and get her actually masteried and stuff, because that isn't what we want to see. We would like to see her in a much stronger build here. Running her down. You could, I mean, giving her a bunch of resistance is definitely a good option, but I think I prefer just doing this, giving her all of the support that we can. All right, so that's Marichka finalized. Apologies for not fixing that one up, but it is what it is. We got through it. Now we move on to the next person, which is Harima. Yeah, that's who we're looking for, Harima. So Harima is in Perception and Savage Gear. She is at 48k HP, 6.2k defense, 233 speed, 100% crit rate, 292 crit damage, 176 accuracy, which we're gonna have to up, which is something I should probably look at doing now if possible, as I didn't even think about that. I was just going through being like, yeah, this build's great. We do need to get her with some accuracy, so give me just a second, guys. We are back to Harima. So I had to drop about 400 defense and gained a good bit of speed, just a little less crit damage, just a very little bit less. And then we got the accuracy needed. We also, I believe, we lost just a little bit of HP too, from what I remember. So a little bit less on the survivability. We gained a good bit of speed, we gained some accuracy, and she's still going to be perfectly useful in arena, if not more now that she's faster. So, yeah, she is now at 45.6k HP, 5.7k defense, 245 speed, 100% crit rate, 289 crit damage, 229 accuracy. And if we go to Hydra, we are now at 277, and the boss's resistance, well, the head of decay is 260, so we're good now. She is fully booked, has 5-star Word of the Fallen, is going down into Hum Smasher with counterattack masteries. Now, the next person we have to show is Shamel. So Shamel is in Guardian and what is this even called? Resilience set. He is at 47.9k HP, 3.4k attack, 3.1k defense, 222 speed, 100% crit rate, 256 crit damage. He is fully booked as 2-star cruelty and is going down into War Master with Cycle of Revenge. And I believe that's the team. I showed Venus. I think I showed Venus at the beginning. Wait, no, I didn't. I think she might be the only one I haven't shown yet. Venus is in Relentless and Stone Skin, 2-piece Stone Skin. She is at 71.7k HP, 3.4k defense, 280 speed, 347 accuracy, fully booked, and is going down into War Master with Master Hexer and Sniper. I believe that is the whole team, guys. So now that we've went ahead and showcased everybody, and wait, did I showcase? Wait, I don't think I showcased the Uko. Yeah, I did not showcase the Uko. So Uko is in Cursed and Perception. He is at 73.5k HP, 3k defense, 270 speed, and 366 accuracy. Wait. Yes, did I? I did show him. Okay, okay. I'm tripping out, guys. Sorry. It's been a bit since I started recording. Okay. Uh, mind that blunder. He's ready. Everybody's ready. This has been a bit of a recording, so let's go ahead, hop into this fight, um, and get a good amount of damage, hopefully. So we're gonna go ahead and just try to start off by getting a decent amount of debuffs and stuff out there. Try to make sure that all the debuffs that we need are up. Get the, ooh, we got resisted. Okay, let's just restart this one time. We should have enough accuracy based off of what I looked at. Um, on the Hell Hades website, it did say that it was like 260, so thought we'd be okay. If not, no. Okay, it looks like we're not. All right. Then I'll be right back as I go and fix up the accuracy she has. Turns out I was just on the wrong difficulty. So let's let's go ahead and let's get into this. That kind of sucks. Oh yeah, and that's part of the issue right now is that everybody's resistance is increased when this head is out, so I do have to keep that in mind. Something that isn't going to be too great here is just when the Head of Decay is out, we really just want to get it gone as soon as possible. Um, the longer it's out there, the more risk we run of possibly failing a run, or not even failing, but just making it go on a lot longer, getting a lot less damage. So yeah, we need to go ahead and try to handle that as quickly as possible. With this team, we are really focusing more on Venus more than anything. And well, okay, no, okay, we're focusing on getting Venus's abilities out there as quickly as possible, because with her we need to have that remove buffs up as often as possible. So saving it for the right times is what we need to be doing, as usually in most runs you need to do that, but in this one specifically, when we are using Venus instead of somebody else like a Wukong, you need to have it up. I usually like to use it after they go ahead and spread, so they get all the buffs out and then we go ahead and strip them. That's just how I've done it for a long time now, because I've used Venus Cupidus for a very long time, and it's just what I prefer to do. So we also have Shamel. Like, as you saw his build, he's going to be a bit of damage along with protecting the team, which is really nice if you can do that, because he does have a ability. Well, part of his ability is that once I get around to him, I'll show you. With his A3, he's going to ignore all defense. I believe when they have buffs out is how it works. So, yeah, we'll ignore 25% defense, we'll ignore 25% more for each buff on the champion. So, let's say right here, they have one buff, he's going to do more damage on them. So, trying to focus his on whoever's buffed. I am not sure if somebody being eaten counts as a buff for that head. It could not. I'm not sure. That's something I'll definitely need to learn. There's a lot of things I still need to learn about the game, but I understand the basics and I understand how to do Hydra. Maybe not every last in and out of it, but the basics is really where I'm at. Understanding how to build the team, which can be the hardest part for some people. They'll have the champions, they'll have the gear, and just simply building the team can be a bit much. And on it, I get it, because I've played other games recently, and sometimes the team building, even if you have the champions, can just be confusing. So let's go ahead and get ourselves protected again. Not that it really matters. We are very, very, very safe in this team. There's not too much threatening us here. That sucks, though. That, of all things that could threaten us, that sucks. So let's go ahead and clear these out. I'm only going to run this probably to like 15 million, guys, just because you get the idea. It's it's a basic team with the Cupidus Venus combo. I usually use Uko if I'm using Cupidus and Venus. It just turns out that way because it's nice to have that extra bit of support with them. Now that Marichka's here, it makes it so much easier to run them because Marichka is amazing for her passive where you get infinite resistance basically as the fight goes on, and there's never really any problems. The only issue with this comp, unless I've named some other ones, which I probably have. So one of the issues with this comp is really just that we don't have any speed control. The fact that we don't have speed control, what I mean by that is decrease speed on the other team, increase speed on ourselves, is that we're not going to be able to get out as much damage as a lot of comps will be able to. If we were to able to get that Necmo in here, which there wasn't Necmo, but if Necmo was here, that would have added so much more damage and so much more time to the team. Simply because he's going to always have those debuffs and buffs out for us. And he also extends the duration, well, extends the duration of these by giving us more speed and them less speed. So it's just a lot of value. That's why somebody like Vizix is somebody that does so much work for a lot of teams, provoking, buffing, ally protect, and then decrease speed. It's all very nice thing to keep in mind when you're trying to build your own teams, and I'm hoping that watching me go through this process of picking the team, running these teams, just looking at what to watch out for, like watching the counters is big. I have some other videos called, it's like Guide to Hydra, the basics of Hydra, or Hydra 101, something along those lines, where you could also learn a lot about how to run a team of your own or how to pick out a team of your own. But yeah, guys, you get the idea of the team. I'm going to go ahead and run it, and I'll be back as soon as the run is over. Alright, y'all, so we got really bad RNG again. It's the same thing that you always see where um, it gets eaten by the head of mischief, and then gets shielded by, well, this time it wasn't shielded by the head of decay, but it was poison clouded. We didn't have anything up, we didn't even have a hex up, so it just went downhill. Kinglish did say, just go ahead, keep this, save this run. But something to keep in mind, guys, this was completely full auto, and that was the only real bad spurt of RNG that was unsavable. Uko got eaten, and then Cupidus got one shot afterwards, so there was no revive. But besides that, I mean, full auto, almost 100 mil in brutal isn't bad, considering Lydia is in the normal slot. It's either normal or hard team, being used in. I don't think anybody has it out for this team. Oh no, he doesn't even have Razzlebarg, so that wouldn't work. Okay. Um. Yeah. No. Wait. What am I? No. No. No, okay. So Lydia is being used in the normal and hard team, in the Trunda team. What I was saying is that Lydia is often used in this team, which is something similar to what I wanted to do initially, until I saw Lydia was being used and there was no Razzlevarg. So then we came to this team right here, which isn't the same idea or anything, but that's just kind of the thought process of why I chose not to do a team like the one I showed you here, which is something that Nubkex has shown many times. Razzlevarg, Uko, Vizix, Lydia, and Shamel. I believe Tila and Uko are easily moved out. Mithrala is one that's used in place of Tila, and I don't remember the replacement for Uko, and even if there is a replacement for Uko, I'm sure there is. I don't remember it at the moment. But yeah, guys, that is that's the takeover. That is the teams. That's kind of how you run them. The simple breakdowns of the teams. You get a little bit of run time. You get to see what it does. I know this was a longer video, but I figured we might as well go ahead and show everything off. Now, so let me go ahead and go back to the Uko build before I leave here. Uko is somebody that if you don't have two of, I personally use him in arena. I have two of them though, but I don't use them. I'm rebuilding my teams tonight actually, when it comes to Hydra. But if you don't have an Uko for arena, building an arena Uko is really, really good. However, if you want to find a mixture of like a, let's say, like a Hydra and a arena build, you can move in with something like a Provoke Uko. A Provoke Uko works amazing in both places, and something I would definitely recommend. I would also say you could take him down into Fearsome Presence for that other big chance of getting the well, not big chance, but more chance of getting the taunt out there. Or you could just leave him in these style of masteries where you're still getting the damage in Hydra, but you're getting the higher chance of CC versus stun by having the provoke set. Anyways, guys, that is my final thoughts there. If you did enjoy this video, if you did learn anything from it, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you would like account work like this for yourself, do join the Discord through the link in the description, and that's where you can find account help like this for yourself. I also have a sale running from the time of this recording until Valentine's Day. After Valentine's Day, it will not be there anymore, but if you do purchase account help during the sale, it will carry over until after the sale, so you can still get your work done. Anyways, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.